It's Monday, the 27th of May, 2024. Welcome to the Fast 5 Business News by Fear and Greed, where we give you the top 5 business stories you need to know in just 5 minutes. I'm Michael Thompson, and good morning, Sean Aylmer.
Good morning, Michael.
Sean, 5 stories in 5 minutes. Let's get going. Story number 1, it is crunch week for BHP's $75 billion bid for Anglo American, with the deadline now set for Wednesday night, Australian time. And analysts reckon a deal could get done, but, Sean, the sticking point here is really the structure, isn't it?
It is. Essentially, under the current proposal, there's a bunch of assets which BHP wants spun off before any takeover, and another bunch to be reviewed after the takeover. That really is the sticking point. BHP has said it has made a final offer ratio. Basically, it's one Anglo share for 0.886 BHP shares, but that doesn't preclude it from offering cash, and I think some investors are hoping for that. BHP is insisting that Anglo spin off majority stakes in South African platinum and iron ore units. It means Anglo shareholders end up with stakes in those offloaded assets, and they carry the risk of any of those deals. Large Anglo shareholders reckon BHP should carry some of that risk. Also, it will take time, possibly more than a year, so Anglo shareholders might not realise the value of the bid for some time. South African regulators could also demand concessions. Put all that together and you understand better why the Anglo shareholders view the BHP deal as too complex. However, some of the large Anglo shareholders are pushing board and management to talk to BHP. People think that something could be done.
As if that isn't enough complexity, Sean, and the time pressure on this as well. There's also a South African election this week, which may just complicate things a little bit.
Sure is. The African National Congress, the political party of Nelson Mandela, has been in power for 30 years, wants to keep the record going. The election coincides with the deadline for BHP to make a formal offer for Anglo. The concern is that whoever wins will ask BHP or Anglo to guarantee jobs, capital spending and local procurement, even if the iron ore and platinum businesses are spun off. Just another X factor for that deal.
Yeah, indeed. All right, on to story number 2 now. The auction clearance rate over the last week came in at 71.5%, slightly higher than a week earlier, and the market looks, I'd almost say, to be reasonably settled at the moment.
I think so. There were 2,200 auctions last week, which is a bit higher than normal for this time of year. Melbourne in particular is holding plenty of auctions. It's had 4 weeks in a row of 1,000 plus auctions. In terms of preliminary clearance rates, Melbourne came in at 71.2%, up nearly 3 percentage points. Sydney was 72.7%, down 1.5 percentage points. But those figures are about the long run average. In the smaller markets, Adelaide at 78%, Brisbane at 70% are running ahead of the long run average. Canberra came in at 59%, which is a bit below the long run average.
All right, moving on to story number 3 now, Sean. And Australians with AI skills are being paid more, sometimes 17% more than those without artificial intelligence skills.
The AI Jobs Barometer from PwC Australia shows AI-skilled workers employed as education managers, research and development managers and database administrators receive the highest average wage premium, ranging between 14 and 17%. Jobs that require AI skills in Australia had an average premium of 6%. That's actually lower than the global average of 14% from 14 other countries surveyed, including the US, UK and Canada. PwC looked at more than 500 million job ads from 15 countries and found that the number of jobs that required AI has increased 4.5 times since 2012 in Australia, compared to 7 times internationally. Other jobs that had a high wage premium for AI skills include advertising and marketing professionals, supply and distribution managers, and industrial engineers, according to a report in The Australian.
Story number 4, proxy advisor Glass Lewis has urged Tesla shareholders to vote against Elon Musk's $56 billion pay award and a proposal to reincorporate the electric vehicle maker in Texas.
It's a major blow for the board ahead of its annual meeting next month. Glass Lewis is very influential. It said the chief executive's package of share options was unduly dilutive and of excessive size. Surely not. It said it in a report it released over the weekend, according to the Financial Times. It also criticised the proposed move to Texas as offering uncertain benefits and additional risks to shareholders. The proxy advisor also raised issues with Musk's slate of extraordinarily time-consuming projects, in particular the 2022 acquisition of Twitter. He's also got SpaceX, Neuralink, Boring Company. Tesla's board has been lobbying investors to ratify the $56 billion award, which originally was given in 2018. A Delaware judge struck it down in January due to the size and concerns about the independence of the board. Anyway, they're trying to get it back up now.
I know I shouldn't have favourites, Sean, but story number 5 is my favourite today. Jensen Huang may not be a household name, but he is now super rich. This is incredible. The co-founder of chipmaker Nvidia now has a fortune worth $91.2 billion US dollars, thanks to the absolutely extraordinary surge in Nvidia's share price.
He's now richer than the Walton family members. They're the ones that created retailer behemoth Walmart. He's the 17th richest person in the world, according to the Bloomberg's Billionaires Index. Nearly all his wealth is in Nvidia shares. The chipmaker share price pushed beyond $1,000 US dollars last week after a very strong March quarter result. The company's share price is up around 250% this year. It's not that far off Apple, about $300 billion US dollars off Apple. It's the third largest company, and its co-founder, Jensen Huang, is very, very rich.
Yeah, he certainly is. There we go, the top 5 business stories in 5 minutes. Thank you, Sean.
Thank you, Michael.
It's Monday, the 27th of May, 2024. Remember to hit follow on the podcast. And if 5 minutes isn't enough, you can find our longer daily show called Fear and Greed, wherever you listen to podcasts. That comes with a bunch of interviews and things. Today's interview is a terrific one for investors. I'm Michael Thompson, and that was the Fast 5 Business News by Fear and Greed. Have a great day.